right. Welcome to the upNup podcast. This is a no bullshit episode. We got into it. We introed it right away.
Introed it. I don't even care.
25
I don't even
seconds.
want to talk about. No, we'll talk about some other stuff, but all I want to talk about is Final Fantasy VII because what an event! What a moment in video gaming history. But let's talk some news. What have you been playing, Chris?
I have been playing The Messenger. Besides, I got back into The Witcher on PS4.
The Witcher.
But then I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. They made Gun Game a permanent part of their Quick Match, which is my favorite game mode. Mm-hmm. And I've been playing that a ton, playing some Warzone. But the past few days especially, I've pretty much played nothing but The Messenger. I haven't even been playing Animal Crossing, honestly, because the stupid Easter Bunny
I'm so
event.
glad it's over.
Oh, I'm so relieved. The only benefit was the eggs actually, when you got a large amount, sold for a decent amount.
Yeah, but not even that much. Not even worth holding on to them. I used to just eat them. I was like, it's like this is like the easy food that I can dig up trees now.
I sold all of the eggs that I collected and got a little over 200,000 bells. And then I spent them all on turnips
and pussy.
Yep. But I'm waiting for one of these days for my turnip prices to be real high and cash in.
I have not done turnips. I know that there's some kind of like lady that comes or something and sells
Sunday
turnips.
morning between 5 a.m. and noon.
Okay.
It's a little pig lady. She comes and you buy turnips from her, and then it's called the Stalk Market, Stalk.
Wow.
And then you check in with Timmy and Tommy throughout the week to see what their turnip prices are, and you want to sell at a premium. So like this week, I bought my turnips for 97 bells each. So do me a favor, Ty, and whenever you hop on, check in with Timmy and Tommy. Let me know what the turnip prices are, and if they're ever like above 400, let me know.
Okie dokie, I'll keep an eye out for you.
Because it's a rarity for them to hit above 400, but they are the price changes once a day at noon. So when you wake up in the morning, they're one price. When at noon, the price changes in the shop. So keep an eye out.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's a quick way to pay everything off.
Yeah. Okay. I have just been basically just decorating. The egg event was terrible. What a terrible event.
I really hated it.
Garbage event. Oh man. They need to get the fuck out of like normal gameplay. Like that's what they need. Those events should be extra, not in my way. I was doing the fishing goddamn contest,
and you just keep catching eggs.
I caught 3 eggs in a row. I was like, nope, I'm done. Goodbye, fishing contest.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I jumped on to do the fishing contest. I got 4 eggs in a row, and it's like, all right, I'm done. Quitting for the day.
I'm like, I don't care. I got 10 points, and they're like, here, you have a shirt. I'm like, good, I'll throw it away. Thanks for that. Yeah, I was playing The Messenger as well, though. I really kind of want to get... you needed to beat it, like, about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So we could have talked about the hook.
Yeah, well, we can always do that next week.
We can.
Because you have something you want to talk about this week. You've got a passion project.
I just want to talk about Final Fantasy VII.
Get into it, man. I've only played the demo. Convince me.
Convince you?
Yeah, because
I
hated it.
You hated the demo?
I hated the demo.
Oh, wow.
I felt incredibly overwhelmed. It felt a little bit. It felt a little bit non-intuitive. Like there was no satisfaction. It was just very overwhelming, and then had no payoff. For me.
Get good. That's
well,
all I have to say.
It also doesn't feel good when you like. This is something that I kind of always struggled with the older Final Fantasies too, though, and that's like, it's not satisfying when you're hitting tiny numbers because you know what you're going to be hitting later. So like when you hit a guy for 15 damage, it just like sucks. When you know that like in the future you'll be hitting them for like 12,000. And ultimately it scales so it doesn't matter. The 12,000 is the same as the 12. It's just, monkey brain like big number.
Yeah, sure. I guess, but you could honestly say that about like so many games.
Yeah, I think just a lot of games hide the RNG portion, so like you don't have to, deal with it.
That's a game that literally is like based on numbers, like ever since its conception, like ever since Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah.
So
you're not wrong.
Maybe you just don't like the genre.
No, that's the thing is I do like JRPGs.
Because I couldn't imagine it being any other way.
Yeah, I think for me it's just I haven't gotten hooked.
Astonished by it. Just seems like they just knew what they were dealing with. It felt like they knew what they were holding. And they're like, we just can't not like we can't half-ass this. If we half-ass this, that's it for this. Like they'll never buy another goddamn game from Square Enix.
Yeah, I think good. My issue is it's just good. It's really difficult for me to.
Much. They fleshed out so much of the characters.
Yeah.
Cloud has like every character they feel like they add is just that little bit extra. Like Cloud clearly seems like he's not just this like merc that has no emotions. Like he seems like a guy that had this crazy dream and then it got way out of hand and he's got nothing left. And he's just like going back home kind of with his tail between his legs kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I think there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
You're not there.
I am. I've been wondering. Can you hear me?
You are gone.
Hold on.
I was wondering what was happening. Well, welcome to the upNup podcast. All right, well then fine, fuck it. Chris is just wrong. He's just hardcore wrong. He has no idea what he's talking about, and he's back. So, okay. Chris, how do you feel about Final Fantasy?
I heard everything you said.
Still can't hear you. Your computer is shit.
What the fuck? I heard everything you said.
Nope. Yep. Gone.
Hello?
Back. Nope. Nothing. I didn't mute you, right? No, I'm at 100% volume. I sound fantastic.
Hello?
I should be the goddamn next spokesperson for good and plenties. Nope.
Still nothing.
Nope. Wait, let me check my volume. Did my shit go off?
Hello.
That would be embarrassing. If it's me.
Hey, yo.
Why is it me?
Hi, yeah.
Why don't I have sound?
Ho-do-do. Bing bong.
Up.
Hello.
Hey. Something happened there.
Oh, you can hear me finally now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, I heard everything you had to say.
Damn it.
If I'm being honest, I kept trying to talk, and you kept just talking over me, and I'm like, what the fuck, Ty? Like, I'm trying so hard to get I literally,
Nope. There were...
I'm
literally just fuck you, Chris, I'm shutting you down.
There were probably 3 times where I like audibly sighed into the microphone because I'm like you would pause and I would start talking, and then right before I'm getting to the point I'm trying to make, you would start talking again. And I was like, what the fuck?
Man, I can't wait to hear this. We gotta keep it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it all in.
You should put some like background music playing in the background, like some smooth jazz.
Well, the thing is we're both talking. Like you're talking, and then I'm trying to talk, and you just keep talking over me, and it was just frustrating me. And then you go, "Are you there?" And I'm like, "Hello."
Son of a bitch.
All right. So anyway, no, I mean, I think it looks really good and it looks really well fleshed out. There's
some padding. I will say that there's padding.
Yeah, I prefer like turn-based strategy games though. Like I haven't gotten hooked into, like, for Final Fantasy at least. Like I haven't gotten hooked into any of the more like real-time attack ones. And I think did you
just play it on classic mode where it's turn-based?
Oh, there's a classic mode? Okay. I can do that then. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen anybody playing it on classic mode. So.
Oh, yeah, no. Classic mode's completely turn-based. Like,
okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
All the auto-attacking and rolling and stuff, like dodges and stuff, it's done automatically. You just do the command prompts.
Okay, that I'll probably be able to get into them. But like when I was playing the demo and stuff, it was just like
they had classic mode and demo too.
Yeah, I just guess
never picked
I didn't. Yeah,
that's fine.
But
I mean, I will say, it ramps up really quick for that first boss fight.
Yeah,
it feels like you're doing nothing, and then all of a sudden you have a crazy ass boss fight, and then that's where the demo ends. Mm-hmm. Once you like, I feel like they're holding it close right now, like the whole them grinding. I feel like this is more of them. Like this kind of feels more of like a proof of concept piece,
right?
And I think they were just trying to like, because instead of there's no grinding like. But then I was trying to think about Midgar, and it's like, there's really not, like, a place in Midgar where you're grinding. Like, you don't start grinding till you get to, like, the world map. Like, the first Midgar part is very story-focused. It's really setting the tone. Mm-hmm. So, the way they do it is they have basically a couple quests. Cloud kind of rolls into town, and, you know, he's trying to make money. So, you do some random, like, kill a monster here, kill a monster there quest. There's a monster, like, in a warehouse, go kill it, you know, kind of thing. Standard, like, sadly, MMO. That's the padding part. But I was thinking about it. Like, the alternative would be you just walking in and out of a room, just fighting monsters over and over and over again.
Right.
So they made the grind... I feel like in this area, you could still do that. There's still areas that have monsters that spawn that when you go in, you know, you could level up and grind and get like material leveled up and stuff like that. But I feel like this is more of a proof of concept. I feel like they're throwing a lot of great ideas, and they're gonna have to make. I don't know what they're going to do for Disc 2, because Disc 2 would have to be the world, like the map. So I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I'm excited. I have not finished it. I am only at... I got to Aerith. I'm like in the Sector 5 slums, I believe, is Aerith.
Yeah.
Her church, her mom's house. I just... fought Rude in Reno, and the combat grows on you. It really does. You start to really understand like what's going on, but what I was not expecting is just how much like they were going to have in the game. I thought they were going to cut corners. Mm-hmm. I thought there was, you know, the materia was going to be like half like. They did, you know what they did do? They did kind of streamline the summon material. It's only one summon per character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, you mean you could switch them up, and it doesn't seem like you can like create some sort of like the synergies where you like, you know, have like the adjoining materias. They do have that. They do have like, you know, if you cast this, or if you attack with this materia slotted in a weapon with this other materia, you know, it adds that attribute to your weapon or something like that. It's good. It's really good. I feel like they really they just knew. They knew what they were doing with, and the characters are so good. Like once you get to Tifa, Tifa's fantastic, and Aerith, and I feel like the demo really was a bad demo. Like playing the game now.
Yeah.
I have been more taken back from the just hanging out in the slums with Tifa at like the Seventh Heaven bar, and just seeing how it just feels so good. It feels like if you were reminiscing about how that game was when you were a kid, it's like they just like made how you thought of the game. Because if you actually look at the game's trash, like the old game.
You think so?
Oh, I mean, the gameplay's solid, but the graphics. I mean, the pre-rendered graphics and the backgrounds are great, but I mean, even comparing the rendered like cutscenes to the actual in-game graphics of this one, it's like not even the same game. Like you could barely tell that there's the same sprites. They're so good. The voice acting is spot on.
Cloud's spiky hair is still spiky.
Yeah, well, I mean, it works. I love Cloud. Like, Cloud is such a character that you just don't think you could really like. But they made him. They found an angle on him that makes him like endearing. Like, it's. I had a friend growing up. He passed. He joined the Marines, and that like fucks with you apparently.
Yeah.
And he came back and he just ended himself.
Yeah, man, that's rough, but not terribly uncommon.
Yeah. This is what I get. Like, this is what I feel. Like, Cloud has that like weight. Like, he feels like he's like he had one dream. That dream, he pursued that dream, and that dream was like just a lie. And now he is just going back to like the only thing he knows, which is like Tifa, which is why he did this job in the first place. And like he says it's about the money and stuff, but he just like has no one, and he's awkward, like socially awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But then when anytime combat comes in, or you're like invading a Shinra headquarters, you can see he knows what he's talking about. Like he knows he's like the taking guy. I know a specific set of skills.
So how much do you think Cloud's character in this game is influenced by Cloud's character they built in the Kingdom Hearts series?
Well, see,
Cloud was pretty well fleshed out in those.
I never played, other than the first one, I never played the Kingdom Hearts. But yes, I kind of vaguely remember Cloud was in like the Hercules arena or something like that.
Yeah, that's like one of the first places you interact with him.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's kind of, he has like a little bit of, he has the confidence in his abilities, but he also has the knowledge that he is just not socially adept.
Right.
Like he like literally will try to make effort to, like he's trying to reconnect with Tifa because it seems to be like the only person that he has. And it's great how they made this, like, because the love triangle was always there with Tifa and Aerith.
Mm-hmm.
But they put a great spin on it. Like Tifa's the childhood friend that doesn't need protecting, and Aerith is like the damsel in distress. Like, and it's like his childhood wanting to be with Aerith or Tifa, and his soldier training wanting to protect Aerith, who's not weak in any way. She's street smart, and they give her that kind of, she's a she's a salesman on the street. She sells flowers. She knows how to. You get that salesman vibe from her. She's quick-witted. She knows how to crack a joke and keep it lighthearted. They just really fleshed it out. Barrett, who I never liked in the game.
I loved him in the old one.
He's so good in this one. He's so
Nice.
good. He's so over the top, and Cloud calls him out on it. I honestly cannot think of another game where the characters just feel so realized, but it's because they've got 25 years of weight behind them. So, I mean, every time I go to a new scene, a new section, I'm just excited. It's just nostalgia without compromise. And I love it. It's so good. I haven't even gotten I'm not even at the Red 13 or the Wall Market or the Don Cornholio or whatever the hell his name is. There's so much. There's
Don
so much.
Cornholio.
So I'm just really, really liking it. The graphics are so good. I'm not one that needs the graphics because I'm an indie guy. I'm happy with sprite art. But there is not a time where the uncanny valley is just gone here because every character has just so much style. They have such artistic flair to them. Oh, so good. It's such a good game. There's definitely flaws, but once again, I keep thinking the fact that this is just Midgar. This isn't
the full game.
Yeah, this isn't the bulk of the game. This isn't the part where people remember Midgar because it's the start, but that's not they don't they remember Gold Saucer and the Chocobo farming and the summonings and the all that stuff, leveling up your materia, but all is that there. I was so shocked when I saw materia actually showing up in the weapons. That was so cool.
Oh yeah, it actually
it shows physically shows up, the color and everything.
That is pretty cool.
And I wasn't expecting, I thought they were going to cop out. It's okay, Cloud's Buster Sword, that's iconic. He's just going to have that. And it's just going to maybe level up or something. Nope. I've got I think 3 weapons for every character, and they all are unique, look different, come with special moves, have the different materia slots, and you actually see them in there. There is some and I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it that the Buster Sword still would be useful later in the game.
Yeah.
You get this leveling up system with weapons. So you can actually kind of the weapons level up with you as well.
That's cool because I know that was a big complaint with I know I even felt that way about Final Fantasy VII and even the ones after that 10 and 10-2 and stuff. It's the coolest weapon in the game
is your starting weapon.
Is the starting weapon, and everything after that looks like shit.
And you replace it immediately. Bye.
Yeah, but you pretty much replace it straight away. I like the idea of that's one of the things I love about The Witcher is it's the same weapons the whole game. That's it. Those are the 2 weapons you get.
Yeah. was shocked to see. I was shocked to see a lot of stuff. I'm not a big fan of how they changed summons, though. I think that's probably my least favorite. They made it like when you summon it becomes like another person in the battlefield that just is like randomly doing attacks and damage. They only are available on certain fights. So I was annoyed by that. I was like, man, I liked summons. I liked just, having like the materia where it start match, cast summon. And you have like some sort of pair. What was it, like initial strike or something like that? It's like whenever the fight started, you would immediately cast this spell. I'd be like, cast Knights of the Round. Fuck them.
Over.
Yep. As soon as I walk into a battle.
That's cool. I mean, I definitely think it helps that you're so passionate about it, but you've definitely spiked my interest. I think once I get my Trump check, I think I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, did you play 7? I mean, what is your like heritage of video games? Because we have 8 years apart.
Yeah, I'm 27 years old, but I growing up, I played.
What was your first system?
My first system was a Super NES.
Okay, so yeah, there's a difference. See, my first system was Atari 2600.
Yeah, I had I had an NES, but the first system, but like I just remember the NES existing. The first system I remember like us getting was a Super NES.
I feel like the Atari was my dad's.
Yeah.
I remember the first game I ever played was E.T. though.
So that's what we were. Wow, E.T.
I know.
But what I was gonna say was, so the Sega. My dad had a Sega Genesis.
Yes.
But then my stepdad had the Super NES. So my stepdad and he used to play Final Fantasy like 2 and 3. And I would like sit there and watch him play. And then he played like Chrono Trigger and a lot of those other JRPG games. And so like when I was like 5 years old, I think was when I played Final Fantasy 2 for the first time.
Wow.
And like just kind of like fumbled my way through it. Not really understanding anything. But the first Final Fantasy game that I actually like full-fledged got into was Final Fantasy 9 and then Final Fantasy 10.
9 is my favorite.
9 is excellent.
9 is just 9 is my absolute favorite. I would honestly love them to redo 9.
I watched my dad play 7, but I never really got into it myself because there's just so much going on.
Yeah, 7.
So like I'd go to my dad's on the weekends and I would watch him pretty much play 7 when he wasn't like, partying or whatever.
Wow. Yeah, no, my first system was Atari 2600. I remember it. I remember having to like switch my television, like pull it out. And then like slide that switch, that UHF to VHF switch over.
Yeah.
And yeah, boot that up. I like Breakout and Frogger. I had a different type of frog. I had I think it was called like Leapfrog or Fly or something like that.
The knockoff.
Well, no, it was a different game. It was like 2 lily pads.
Yeah.
And then there was like flies that go by and you had to jump across and catch flies. I don't know. But I remembered getting my Nintendo though. My Nintendo I think was definitely my first system that like I was given. It was not the one with the light gun though. So,
yeah, I had
just the Mario one.
At my grandmother's house, I had the one with the light gun.
Yeah, my dad had I had one at my dad's and he had the light gun. And then my mom had the NES. The NES was a frustrating system. It was not a very welcoming system. And I had really... Do you remember the fact that, like, NES games they were just whatever the fuck the prices they wanted them to be that day.
Yes.
They could be $10 or $130 for
I feel like
nothing.
I feel like N64 still kind of maintained that a little bit.
I want to say it died in N64. I know it was definitely around the Super Nintendo era.
I remember a time. So my mom bought. I begged my mom to buy Superman 64.
Oh,
yeah. Because like I was just
it's Superman.
There was nothing to tell you back then. The game was bad.
Exactly, and it's Superman.
I was just like, oh, a Superman game.
Superman,
yeah, exactly.
You get to fly around in 3D, 64.
So, I want to say my mom paid like $80 for it. Yep. I think, and then she didn't have the receipt. So when like I played it, I was like, I can't beat the first level. Can we take it back? So we took it back to Walmart. And their policy was if you didn't have a receipt, it returned for the lowest price it ever was. So we got $10. So at some point in time, the game that I paid $80 for did cost $10. Because wow. I got a Star Wars Anakin Skywalker pillow to replace it. It was terrible. That was like that was the first lesson I had in life where like things will shit on you forever. Like I traded in, I returned this shitty game and got a fucking Anakin Skywalker pillow.
Oh man, he's like the worst character ever.
And it was like, do you remember when?
Was it the child version of Anakin?
Yeah,
like
and he had like
1?
and he had his speeder helmet on.
Oh, the speeder helmet.
And it was one of those shitty pillows. Like, do you remember? I don't know why they made them, but like in the mid-2000s,
the WWF pillows,
like they had the character on it, and it was like raised felt. So like his hair, like his helmet was raised, and then his hair was like a layer behind that. It was like a Photoshop pillow.
Oh no, that sounds terrible.
It was the worst. You couldn't actually
just like
sleep
the worst
on it.
Gift. And it just kept getting worse.
It was so bad.
Oh,
it was so bad.
That stinks.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no way to tell back in the day. I that's why I rented so many games. So many games were rentings. So many rentals.
Yeah, my mom and stepdad were not a fan of renting video games because they saw it as a poor investment. Like, we rented a movie, and it was, like, my stepdad literally looked at it as, like, okay, I'm paying $5 to rent this movie, but 8 people are watching it, so that is a significant return on my investment.
That is a value.
Whereas, like, if I wanted to rent a video game, he's like, no, it's $3 for one person to enjoy it. That's ridiculous.
It's like, yeah, but this thing could cost me $60. I could beat it in a weekend.
Yeah. Nope. Never happened.
Yeah.
The only game I could ever sometimes talk my mom into letting me rent was all the way on PlayStation 2. It was Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Okay.
And she would never let me rent it for more than one day. So I could, and also too, they did not agree with having to buy a memory card. They thought it was bullshit. So I would just get to the same spot in the game every time, and then we'd have to return it. And then I would like rent it again like 3 weeks later and just start over from the beginning. So it was like my first, like all those indie games now that is like, oh, you're alive for 15 minutes and then the game resets, but you keep all the items you found. It was like my first introduction to one of those kind of games.
Your roguelike.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, if I remember, so the first time I only got this far, but now I know how to get there faster, so I can get twice as far this time. And then by the end of it, I was getting pretty far into the game after only having.
I got really good at those first 3 levels.
Yeah, exactly.
Really fucking good. Yeah, I remember Final Fantasy 3, which was our 3. There's 6. Was the first one. I remember playing it at my friend's house. We did one of those sleepovers and just played it all day and then all night and got really fucking far. But man, what a game.
Mm-hmm.
Insane that game fits on a god. That's one that would be amazing to be redone, because that was so old. The opera house and the
yes.
airship and
airship and opera house are like burnt into my memory.
I love a game that has like a great like something happens and then you have to meet up with the characters like years later or something like that. Like there's this, we thought you were dead, we thought you were missing, we thought you were the bad guy, something like that. Because I'm excited for that in this one, because Cloud has the stroke. Tifa, honestly, I guess kind of thinks I'm dead. I fell off the Mako reactor. So I'm kind of excited to see what like that reunion's going to be. Because, man, the dialogue between the characters is so good. So, like, rich.
That's honestly surprising to hear.
It's so good. It's
like,
so
it makes
good.
me happy. It makes me happy to hear, but I'm shocked.
Really?
Yeah, I just wouldn't expect. Like, I don't know. That's never been like Final Fantasy's strong suit, in my opinion.
I mean, the stories. Dagger and Zidane and the story of Vivi, like basically living in a corpse's shell. Like, I always loved the stories of Final Fantasy. I thought they were so rich. The stories are rich, but character interactions never really felt that way. It always felt like characters between each other.
That's what I meant. Like,
it
always felt like you were acting on the
self-arcing.
outside world well.
Yeah.
But never like together. Like Final Fantasy X honestly was probably the first one in my opinion where it felt like there was really decent character development between your team.
Like camaraderie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say 100% you feel that. The Avalanche group are this like scrappy band of vigilantes, and you feel it. Like they like reference like little things from the past, and they kind of make like inside jokes. There's just like these little tiny layers that they add, and Jesse just wants it. Jesse is just like throwing it out there on a plate for Cloud. She's sweet. She's just like an absolute sweetheart. It's a little corny and it's a little JRPG-ish, but I mean, I would say it's as corny as like Doctor Who, but Doctor Who's still endearing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's just kind of how it is. Yeah, I have not met Red. Aerith is just fantastic. She's just this sweet, like wisecracking, like quick-witted, kind of damsel in distress, but like don't call her that kind of thing.
Right. Jeez, Ty, we get it.
I know.
You're in love.
Oh, no, I'm honestly not a big Aerith fan. I've always liked Tifa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always liked Tifa. I don't like weak women.
Yeah. Yeah. Tifa's cool.
Tifa's cool, and I like her. She's like, they fleshed out, it just felt like they took the characters and they just realized them more. It's like Tifa's like a bartender, she's been through some things, she feels
I've always
like a
liked
bartender.
Jessie though.
Yeah, Jessie's great. She's awesome. She's gonna die, and I'm gonna be really sad. That's gonna hurt. I'm gonna probably punch my screen when Aerith dies. I don't know.
No.
Oh man, I don't know. I've been honestly thinking about that time the whole time I'm talking to her. It's like, you are gonna die, and I am just gonna be sad. Like, you are just. And I want to see so many. I want to see Yuffie. I want to see Vincent. I'm so excited to see every character. Like every.
Man. What was that? What was that shitty Final Fantasy spin-off game where you play as Vincent?
Dirge of Cerberus.
Dirge of Cerberus. Yeah, Dirge of Cerberus or Cerberus or whatever. Cerberus.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't a bad game. Neither was.
It really wasn't. It got a bad reputation, but I liked it.
I mean, everybody wanted a sequel to Final Fantasy. The other one, Crisis Core, got really good reviews too. They say it's one of the best PSP games.
Yeah, Crisis Core was awesome.
Yeah, we play Zack.
Yeah, I did play that. That one was dope.
Yeah. So, I haven't really met any references to Zack yet. Because isn't it Aerie's boyfriend? Like, her old boyfriend was Zack?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, she hasn't mentioned it. She kind of... Every once in a while, she kind of has this implication that, like, you look familiar. I never really understood the story with Zack.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I understand the story more now with this version. There are some things I'm wondering why they added or changed. There's those ghosts. I don't know if you've seen any of the trailers. There's like these. They look like Dementors. That's the best way to describe them.
Yeah.
Just flying around. I met them like up in the church, and they kind of wouldn't let me go in certain directions. I don't really. They have something to do with Sephiroth.
Oh, you think so? I was gonna say they're probably just the game's answer for like how do we prevent them from moving into areas where they're not supposed to yet.
What they did is
it's their new invisible wall.
Oh no, because I've gone back to places that have that they were blocking me from, and I was able to go like through there. What it seems basically what I can fathom from what's going on is Sephiroth is kind of wasn't he like an experiment? He has like a number on his arm. Mm-hmm. You're finding other people with those numbers on their arms, and I don't know if they're parts of Sephiroth or clones of Sephiroth, but I've met like 2 or 3 of them. They've all had different numbers, and then like they cause Cloud to have like that breakdown, and then he kind of like has a hallucination that he's seeing Sephiroth. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what it's about, but it kind of looks like. Do you remember Diablo 2? There was like the Wanderer. Mm-hmm. And it was like this weakened wanderer, and there was the guy who was helping him the whole way. That's kind of what it feels like. It kind of feels like this wanderer, and he's just kind of there. He lives in like the room next to you or something, and you know he's there, and he's just this weak old man. But I think he's Sephiroth. I'm pretty sure he's just, Sephiroth died in the war. He's a war hero. No one's seen him since. And, like, I don't know if he's been, like, killed and, like, he went to hell and he got himself out of the life stream or something. But it's interesting. They introduced him a lot earlier. And are talking about him more.
Yeah, so. That's interesting. But I guess kind of that's pretty smart because anybody who is playing this game, even if it's your first time playing Final Fantasy VII, you know who Sephiroth is. So they're kind of trying to just get out ahead of being like, when is it going to be revealed? When is it going to be revealed? Like that sort of thing, Yeah,
they're giving him, a little bit of screen time. I'm just so curious about, like, I have not played the game since I beat it. Back when I was a kid. I was so annoyed. I 99%ed it. Every single time I've ever played, I've played it twice. The first time I just played it naturally, and then the second time I tried to get everything, and I missed one item, one materia that you can only get at one point. It's like right before the parade.
That's pretty impressive.
And I missed it, and because I can't get that, I couldn't get the I think it was a yellow materia, so you could get the W skill materia where you get like it unlocks all of them just by having one. Mm-hmm. So I missed that, but I got everything else. I beat the hell out of that game. I never 100%. I was kind of annoyed. But I'm thinking of all the things, and I was like, man, if they want to do everything, it's just going to be so much, because just Golden Saucer alone is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Saucer, all the mini games. There's that Phoenix like mountain where the soldiers climb up the mountain, and you have to put like traps and guards, and there's that big egg, and that's where you get the Phoenix summon once you do that.
That's crazy.
Yuffie's village, Yuffie, side character, Vincent, Red 13. There's so much. This game is huge.
I have several friends who are like, I want to play it, but I want to wait until the second part 2 releases, just because like they don't want to beat it and then have to sit and wait for however long for part 2.
Right? That's kind of what I'm worried. I'm in no rush to beat it, but yeah, man, I mean, the nice thing is they have the engine done, so the characters are done. I'm honestly hoping that this has been well planned, and they have everything like in the works, and they're just gonna stagger their releases.
Yeah, the downside is that it almost definitely is going to be a next gen release.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's certainly unfortunate. Because it'd be nice what would be really cool is if they did like if they did like a retro release where they put the 2 new copies of the game, but in like a jewel case, like the PS1 version. With just like updated artwork and stuff. Gosh, that would be so cool. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling... Oh, man, that would be, like, a dick move, though. I have a feeling, like, part 2 will be, like, dual-gen.
Yeah, you think it'll be on both?
I think it'll be on 4 and 5. But then
I think it would have to...
I'm worried about the part 3 being only 5. They couldn't do that.
Yeah.
That would be... They would be like, yeah, you're going to buy it. You're going to buy PlayStation 5.
Well, I mean, you got to take into consideration the only way it'll be dual platform is if it releases in the next 2 years. Do you realistically think part 2 and part 3 will be released in the next 2 years?
I think part 2 will be.
That is optimistic. I mean, you're probably right in the sense of what took them so long for this one was like nailing the engine, and now that they have that, it'll be decently easy to make everything.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say easy.
They have the voice
easy is
actors,
not the right word.
They have everything. They have the groundwork laid out. Plus, they're gonna get funding now. Like I said, I feel like this was a proof of concept, like a really good proof of concept. But they were just like,
this was their pilot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we want to, like, before we build Gaia, we need to see if Midgar floats.
Right.
But I'm super excited. I'm assuming it ends like with leaving Midgar. I love that though. I feeling like in this under the plate, when you like look up and you see the plates above you, and there's like a city above you, and you have they have artificial lights to like simulate sun.
That's pretty
and you're
cool.
Just looking up and you're like, this is cool. The scale of it is impressive. They did an amazing job. They really realized Midgar. Oh, I'm excited. I want to play it. I want to play it.
You've certainly made me interested. Like I said, I think once I get my stimulus check.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the, I would say if you don't have the love, like the love of the characters and the story, because if you were watching, if you were watching your dad play it, that's one thing.
Yeah,
but
I mean, not like, hey, yo, Dad, if you're listening to this shouldn't be as disparaging as it sounds, but it's one of the fond memories I have from my childhood. Like,
it's a good game.
It's yeah, and like it was just the right like animation. Everything was just captivating enough that like when I was like 6 or 7 or whatever, however old I was when it came out the first time and he was playing it, like it captivated me as just watching him play it. Like I would encourage him to play it, honestly. I would be like, you should play Final Fantasy VII.
You should play that.
I want to watch you play.
You play that game with the guy with the big sword and the spiky hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I loved watching it. I've been toying around with the idea for a while of getting the Final Fantasy VII remaster on Switch. Just to like
I have not played Final Fantasy VII in so long.
You're playing it now, baby.
I know, right? I don't think I'll ever. I honestly don't think I ever want to play the PS1.
The original?
Yeah. I have too many fond memories of it. It's just not gonna be what I remember.
I mean, that's definitely like a good choice.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that point where I'm gonna be like, all right, I can't beat this boss. I have to, walk back and forth for 30 minutes, just grinding trash. Like that was good when I was a kid and I had the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they're doing it. To me, it makes more sense. Like, I don't know. I like it. There is parts that they had to make some decisions, I feel, to either A, pad it or to streamline it.
Right. Just kind of overall make everything a bit easier access of a process.
But when you're handling this game, you're just like, they had to have cut corners. There's not enough time on the planet for them to make this game to the caliber that they just made Midgar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot with a little too much. Like, it's just too much. Like, I can't wait till I meet Kate Sith. Like, Kate Sith is going to be insane.
That's going to be really interesting to see how they tackle that in this like style.
I know, right? Everything. I'm so excited. It's been such a long time since I've played a game that I'm just excited for every minute. Like but it's playing off nostalgia. But man, did they do it good. There's been a lot of good ones. A lot of good... I haven't played Resident Evil 3, but Resident Evil 2 was an amazing remake.
Yeah, I wish I had any nostalgia for those games I'd like to get back in. I'd like to give them a try, but like just watching people play Resident Evil 2, I was like, this isn't for me. I can watch people play it, and I like it. But I know I would not enjoy it.
Have you heard about the rumors of the next one? Because I'm excited.
I haven't.
Okay. So, the last one was 7. Which was with, Ian? I believe his name was?
Mm-hmm.
I love 7. I think that might be my favorite Resident Evil game.
I mean, like, 4 is definitely the cliche.
Yeah.
But 7, in my opinion, 7 beats 4 even.
Yeah.
I like that it brought back the old school, like, minimalist nature of, like, listen, you don't have a lot of weapons and you don't have a lot of ammunition.
Yeah.
And it felt
Remember
like
how Resident Evil was? It's that.
Yeah. I loved how scaled down it was. I liked how, like...
intimate.
Even though there was, like, a lot of places to go, it didn't feel big. Like, nothing felt large in that game. It felt very, almost
everything was
claustrophobic.
dense.
Yes.
And I loved how they like, really hid things. Like, you had to look to actually find things. And it was worth looking. And it was creepy. You know, you were looking and you were constantly like, damn, there is going to be something behind me.
And I think it set up fear in a really great way where there were no, that I can remember, there were little to no, like, fake scares. Like, there was, I don't recall any points in the game where, like, the music swells and you're like, uh-oh, something's going to scare me. And then it doesn't. It just, like, the scares were scares. Like, they didn't use music to manipulate you. They didn't, like, it was just like, bah. There it is.
You saw that dad, like, see you and make a beeline for you. That was terrifying. It wasn't a jump scare. He was like, oh, fuck. You felt like, you felt inferior to, like, to that person. Yeah.
And frantic.
Yeah.
It really, like,
so
made you feel frantic.
Is a good word. Yeah. Instead of just jump scares, they put you on edge. But there has been some releases. It's pretty much a done deal because there's already been art that's been discovered. Resident Evil 8 will be called The Village, and they're using the VILL as III. It seems to be in a European, very small village, one big main castle kind of thing, like a chateau, like a mansion, like a Resident Evil 1 mansion with a little bit of a village around it. Kind of has like the Act 2 of Resident Evil 4, you know, where you're kind of into that like gothic keep. First person, like 7.
That's good. I like that.
I know. It has Ian in it. It has Chris Redfield, and it has who was Ian's girlfriend?
Yeah,
Maya.
I want to say, I was gonna say I want to say Mia or Maya. It was
Mia. I think that's right.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Mia, but it's MIA.
And so it looks like the same characters. It seems to be older. Like Chris is older and maybe like reluctant is what I've heard. Like he's kind of like tired of this. But I'm excited. From this, like, there's one screenshot that's just kind of floating around. It's just basically the title screen. But it looks like a big chateau in the mountains, like wet, wintry, snowy, and maybe just like a few buildings around like this manor. And it's like that's it. So it looks like to be a little bit bigger than just the house from 7. But it doesn't seem to be like Raccoon City. Like it seems to be like a nice, intimate, you know, setting.
So will it be next?
Wait, what?
Will it be next gen? Do you think?
I don't think so. No, it's already in development, and I just feel like it might be cross. I mean, we're getting there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is COVID gonna knock it out? Is COVID gonna push back the release date? Because I feel like Sony's waiting for Microsoft to make the play.
Yeah, Sony and Microsoft, they're both claiming that it's not gonna, they won't be affected. But I do not trust that at all.
I guarantee somebody's waiting for the other person to be like, yeah, we can't do it, and then the other and then it's just gonna be like, yeah, they can't do it, so we're not gonna do it either.
Yeah, or what I was thinking too is Sony may wait until Microsoft just commits to it, and then be like, actually, we can't make it, and just force Microsoft into releasing another like subpar system.
Yeah,
Like
I feel
they
like
did with Xbox One.
Yeah, I feel like Microsoft's gonna come out ahead this generation.
Yeah, you really think so? Because they're trying to do the integrate your whole home entertainment experience sort of thing.
Nah, they've been doing that since last generation.
Right, but I mean the cross with your computer stuff now.
Oh,
they kind of took over your TV in Xbox One.
I'm fine.
And now with the new Xbox, they're taking over your computer as well.
I mean, I'm fine with that because I can play pretty much any Xbox game that comes out on my PC for $1 or whatever that Games Pass costs a month. I don't know. I feel like yes, Sony still has first party games.
Yeah,
and exclusives.
I think Sony will always win that battle.
They will always win the exclusives. But Microsoft is buying up some really good studios. They bought up Ninja Theory, so that's huge. I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with Senua's Voyage.
Yeah, the follow-up to Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah, I think it's Senua's Saga. I don't know what it's called. I loved Hellblade. I think if you've never played Hellblade, play Hellblade. It's only 8 hours. That
isn't.
Holy shit, that game.
I've heard you play it with headphones.
Oh yeah. I actually watched the little documentary about how they recorded that. They have one of those microphones that looks like ears. Have you seen those? Set up in a room, and then there's just these two girls that have the script, and they are just running around the ear microphones that are set up in the middle of this sound studio, and they run up to they just, hey, how you doing, and then they just run away, and then they come back, you're gonna fail, and then they just run away, and they're and the whole time you're just oh, okay, that's too much.
Yeah.
But where you go to Norse Hell, and man, they do some fun stuff. They do some really fun stuff. The story's great. The gameplay's a little lacking. Some puzzles are a little lacking. It's such not a part of the game that it doesn't really matter. That you play that game 8 hours, you're in, you're out, and you've really felt something, because that game's really good, and you'll be ready for the sequel, which I think is gonna be top notch. I think they're gonna make it what they wanted it to be, because they're this AA studio, a very rare AA that not many exist. So I'm excited for that. So many good games coming out. Finally, we're past it. Now that I'm gonna have to probably go back to work.
What a shame.
I don't want to go back to work, Chris.
After being off for this
what I'm kind of annoyed about? I'm gonna toot my own horn here for a little bit, because I have friends that work in the medical industry, and by far, they're the front lines. Not gonna ever give them any shit. I got friends who are there. I got to make masks for them. Christy and I are making masks for them.
That's cool.
But yeah, they got to be I got a friend who's a nurse, a respiratory nurse, so she's busy.
Oh wow, I bet.
And I'm seeing all this love for them, and they deserve it. All love for the police and fire. I get that. And
fuck cops.
And yeah, fuck the cops. And the grocery store workers, and
those are like number two. It's nurses and doctors, and then grocery store workers, and then the restaurant employees who still have to work.
Exactly. All right, I get all that. I get everybody But you know what? I have not heard a goddamn word about the people who are keeping everybody connected. Like,
that's true.
Fuck us. Like, no one gives a shit about the cable guy. Like, we are busting our ass going in because we're swamped right now. I'm talking to my friends.
Oh,
everybody's working from home. Everybody needs their internet working. Their kids are home.
That's true.
They want their TVs working. They want their internet working. Kids have to study. People are working from home. They ain't giving no one is like... I've seen sidewalk chalk, like art, and they're like, we thank you, fire and police and EMT and grocery store workers and people who walk my dog and teachers. And I'm like, what the fuck is the cable guy? I mean... Yeah, I'm biased, but goddamn, like we are like a group that
definitely.
like completely have been ignored.
Yeah, well, I think it's because like so much of that feels like it's like behind the scenes stuff.
It is,
and like I know up here, Service Electric, which is like the primary, they're like Central PA's version of Comcast.
Man, I want Comcast to buy them so much.
So they're like limiting like their work. Like they're only like you can only call them, and then it's like difficult from my understanding to actually like set something up, but it's only if like there's an outage.
Yeah.
Like they're not like they'll do a new install if they have to, but their primary focus is just like restoring outages right now.
Yeah, no, we're like in the business of getting people back like online. We offered free internet.
Yeah.
To everybody.
Well, not to mention I'm sure, you know, when
like, we opened up that free internet program to a lot of people. We have a lot of installs. We're busy.
Well, not just that, but I'm sure there's also like a decent amount of bandwidth issues when you get into a city like that. So you know, even the like
our
remote techs
is pushing it.
Yeah. Absolutely, those people should be thanked.
I mean, not me. I've been sitting on my ass. But
yeah, no,
my
not
friends,
you.
My friends who have to go out there every day, it sucks.
You'll accept praise on their behalf.
I mean, the day I go back to work, oh man, I'm gonna start a campaign on Facebook.
Yeah. A GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, so I can buy. Oh man, I'm gonna. I don't. Man, work is tough, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't feel good
yet.
I just don't feel good yet.
How soon do you think you'll be going back to work?
My next doctor's appointment is the 28th. So I have 15 days. If I'm okay, I guess I go back the 29th. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. I lucked out. I got to avoid a lot of this. However, Philly is pretty much like in the worst of it right now. So
yeah,
I really don't want to go back to work in it. I'll get some extra hazard pay.
I mean, that's good.
25% extra pay.
That is bullshit. It should be so much.
I know, right? Oh man, I'm gonna die, Chris. I'm gonna be. I mean, we're all so pissed.
We're all gonna die
if I get this. Oh man, am I gonna go on a rampage?
Honestly, if you get this, I pity your wife.
I know, right?
Like, I'm gonna be the most like. I feel bad. I'll feel bad for you. But I'll feel really bad for her.
Why? Because she's gonna be a recent widow.
No, because she's gonna have to put up with you if you're anything like your sister.
I mean, dude, I've been hurt for like 3 months. Christy will just be like, "It get better or die." Those are your options.
And if
I just don't want to hear
die, make it. If you're gonna die, make it soon and convenient.
Yeah. If you're gonna die, just keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear about it. Yes, you're dying. Call me when you're dead. I don't need updates throughout the day. Do you have a will?
Let's get that figured out.
fucking virus, dude.
Yeah.
At least I got to play some video games.
That's true.
And I'm
upright. Your
Upright.
back injury did come in multiple ways at a good time, though.
I know, right? I missed the winter. I missed the COVID.
And you got to play some of the big releases.
I got to play some of the big releases. Yeah. I mean, I haven't had a really fun time. It has been
Started
tough.
a podcast.
I did start a podcast, and what a podcast! I'm the leading spokesperson for Good and Plenty's.
Yeah.
Someday this is gonna hit.
The number one Well, I mean, no matter what, you're the number one.
I mean, I'm
because
saying it at this.
No one
at
else
this,
is out
yeah,
here talking
there
about
there
it.
ain't nobody try to take my throne. I found out that they're owned by Hershey's, though, so
yeah,
hey, they ain't gonna talk to us.
it's gonna be tough. Well, I mean, nobody's really. I'm sure they probably. I like to imagine that Hershey has like a person in charge of each type of candy.
And,
like there's a Kit Kat guy,
and they're all
there's a
dressed.
Reese's
They're all
guy.
dressed differently.
Yeah, and then you've got like
This.
the
Good and Plenty guy is
Plenty
wearing
guy.
like a purple tux, and he's got like a white curly mustache.
It's just a homeless dude they scooped up on the way into work that morning.
That's so mean.
It's just like,
Good and Plenty's are
hey.
fantastic.
Yeah.
They're so.
They're not.
Shut the fuck up. They're delicious.
Oh,
Ah, man.
you're crazy. Although I will say, listener Jeff Kunkel at Nerdtastic91686,
Jeff's got my back.
he agrees. He agrees with you,
Yeah.
but
Got my back.
yeah, I don't know. Jeff is a longtime friend, and I love Jeff to death, but I don't know if he's the kind of guy you want on your side.
How dare you? Listen, he's plenty and good.
I will say, though, Jeff loves candy so much he got diabetes from it. So
Oh, wow.
maybe he is somebody to trust.
I mean, way to bring that out in the open. Diabetes.
He's open about it.
He's open about
Jeff's
it.
a good
Diabetes.
dude. Yeah,
That's a shame.
Jeff is a good dude.
Hopefully it wasn't the Good and Plenty's. He shouldn't be eating Good and
probably
Plenty's
was.
then. It's like
No, they're you don't understand, Ty. They're one of the ones that's safe for him to eat because also 80-year-olds it's safe for them to eat it.
Yeah. Well, they're a fat-free candy.
I'm sure they are.
They are. So is licorice.
But it's because they don't report
fat.
that there's any fat. It's like a wealthy person's taxes.
Yeah. The 80-year-olds have died before they can test them.
Mm-hmm.
How
How much Good and Plenty is running through
Oh
their
no,
veins.
Peppy Hare died.
Oh no, did he?
The voice actor for Peppy Hare and
That's so sad.
the soldier from Team Fortress was the same guy.
Do a barrel roll.
Yep, do a barrel roll. That guy was also the soldier in Team Fortress 2. The one with the Sarge.
One and the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Wow.
Same guy. Same goddamn guy. Anything else you want to talk about, Chris Messenger? Did you like it? Are you liking it?
I still like it a lot. Love
Man,
the music.
you need to get
really
past this
fun.
fucking boss so we could talk about how this game completely changes.
I will say I could not. So right before I got to the time tower, I changed to right trigger, right bumper, or no, the right trigger.
That's what
being
I did.
attacked.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would have gotten through time tower without doing.
I know,
that.
right?
I wouldn't have.
Why?
It just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that control scheme is not like the default was not doing it for me, and I tell you what, I finally figured out what it is. I want there to be a double jump, that hitting jump and then you go into a glide. Still, I'm much farther in this game than you are, like a lot farther. You're basically in the prologue right now. Like, you're not even in the game. I actually what you're playing right now is a different game. When you want
That makes me really excited.
Yeah, once you actually graduate to the real game, we can talk about this game, which I'm still trying to figure out why they did this, other than the hook. Like, and if that's all this is, bravo for making a game about the hook. But the whole time I'm just like, why did we do the first 8 hours of this game? Like, I tell you what, it really makes the second 8 hours really impactful.
It's all about misdirection, baby.
I know, and I love how they lean into it. If you ask the shopkeeper a couple times, he hints that there's a big reveal.
Yeah, things will be different.
And he keeps like pointing at it, and then he goes, "If you haven't seen it by now, then I'm not gonna tell you."
Yeah. Well, and there is certain hints too, like the fact that like I'm at the point in the game where I am, but I only have like 8 of those green tokens.
Yeah.
that you need like it's like you need 42. Yeah, it's like you need 42 more or whatever, and I'm like, holy shit, what?
Yeah, you'll figure out about that then. And you know
excited.
what? The whole time I was playing, I was like, I don't give a shit about these. And now I'll tell you what, I actually kind of give a shit. like I don't even know what I'm gonna get, but yeah. Oh man, it's such a weird game, Chris. Who got us this game again? Corey. Yeah.
At Homeless Wizardry.
Thank you again to Corey.
Yeah.
Because I think this was a game that came out on the Epic Game Store. One of their free games. Oh, also, throwing this out there. If anybody has the Epic Game Launcher, definitely check back every week. They are doing their 2 free games a week during the coronavirus. And I believe next week is Just Cause 4.
Wow.
Which I've always kind of just wanted as a sandbox game to fuck around in. That'll be free, I think. I forget what it is this week. I think there's a Sherlock Holmes game. And Close to the Sun. I've never heard of that game. Yeah, Just Cause 4 will be free April 16th to the 23rd. Don't have to do anything. Just have to download the game launcher and get it. And I heard that's a really fun game just to fuck around with. So it's free. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, right. Why not?
Why not? But yeah, no, I got the messenger from the Epic Game Store, and it was just like, oh, it's free. I've heard good things about this game. I knew of this game. I knew the hook. Watched a really good review on it. Got great reviews. And the one thing I remember is just like, it's 8-10 hours before you get to the actual hook. And the hook is that there's another game.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be so cool. And I've like, honestly, like, seriously, thank you, Corey, for getting it, because like I probably would have never bought it otherwise.
Yeah, I don't
like,
think I would have. I don't
buy
think I would have
games.
Started this. Like I had it for a while.
Yeah, indie games are just like, if somebody suggests it to me, I'll get it.
Wow.
Like Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, all those things were that way.
I love me my indie games.
Oh, I like them too, but I'm just so scared to like take the risk of buying.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is there's so many of them.
Yeah.
I've had very, very good luck with the indie games. I mean, Get Blasphemous. That's another really great indie game. I'm super excited for Hollow Knight too.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be incredible.
I can't. Hollow Knight might be one of my favorite games like I ever played. I think that might be my absolute favorite Metroidvania. It's close. I mean, that and Symphony of the Night, but
which essentially, for all intents and purposes, is a Castlevania game.
What, Symphony of the Night?
Like, yeah, like it might as well be.
It is Castlevania.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a different name, right? It's not Castlevania. It's just called Symphony of the Night.
No, isn't it?
It's
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh,
yeah.
Am I mixing it up with there's a newer indie one that's like made by the people who made
yes,
Castlevania.
yes. You are Rondo of Bloodstained.
Yep.
Bloodstained.
Yep, that's it.
Ritual of the Night.
Yep, that's what I'm getting at.
That's a fun game too. Not as
my little brother loves it.
Yeah. I could see this being like a huge hit with like the younger audience, because the meta of the game is crazy.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where it wants you to break it, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the same as Castle Symphony of the Night. Like, there's a point where it has this great arc. It's like there's challenging, and then there's this like gathering arc where you start feeling powerful, and then there's just at the end where everything is still fun to play, but you're a god now, and like you're not gonna die. It's just about how much damage you can inflict as quickly as possible, coming up with the craziest combinations of gear and equipment and spells, and it lets you do that. Like, and then there's this. It's like a weird, distant horizon where it gets to this point where, okay, you've been breaking the game. Now we're gonna actually have to make you break the game to fight these bosses that we've had hidden that are insanely hard. But you've now done. You've made these crazy combinations with weapons and abilities. Give them a try. See if you can actually beat this boss that we don't even think you could beat. And that's what they do. Bloodstain was like that. Hollow Knight. Man, I there's some bosses that forget it. Just forget it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Hollow Knight. I didn't even come close to 100%. Or I think I got 100%. I didn't get the 120. I think is the max.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds right.
I loved Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was, man, that's a good game. So I'm really excited for Silk Seed. The character seems fun. I hope it isn't too much of a difference between Hollow Knight. But she actually seems a lot like Ori, which would be fine, because Ori was really good, like movement wise. Like combat, Ori Combat 1. Just don't play Ori 1. Just don't. Ugh, I hated Ori 1. I felt like a chore. It felt like I was doing like. It felt like I was like mowing grass. Ori 2 was good. I'm not gonna beat it. It's the same damn story. I wish they could come up with a fucking story for it.
Yeah, I've heard 2 is really good.
It's like it's a sad bird, which is different from the angry bird that we had in the first one. This one's a sad bird.
Well, this one's sad because it got hurt in the first one.
Yeah, but now it's angry.
It's an angry sad bird
instead of a sad. Yeah, fuck that. It was a really good game, though. Visually beautiful.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Ori 2 is much better than Ori 1. Don't play Ori 1. Don't bother. It's like free on Games Pass. It's
Honestly,
like $1.
I'll play neither.
You're not gonna play either. You never even played Undertale.
I bought it.
Did you?
And I don't. I did. I don't.
You did.
So I've played like 45 minutes of it.
And you bounced. Wow.
It just I'm gonna pick it up again and give it another try, but like I haven't gotten to the hook yet. Like there's nothing to keep me playing. There's no reason to keep playing. I haven't gotten there yet. I just don't care.
Okay.
Like I've never had a game more where like in the start of it I'm just like, who fucking cares? Like I think it's because it's got such a hurdle to overcome with my preconceived notions, which I accept that's on me.
Wow.
But like it really is like I genuinely like I put headphones in so I was immersed. I didn't have anything else on to distract me. I put my phone like slightly out of reach Like I like tossed it a cushion away on the couch.
Wow, you put effort,
So,
Chris.
I really wanted to like it.
Hey man,
And-
I didn't make the game. I ain't gonna fucking make you force it.
It's just like, again, like I've just gotten to, like, if I like, so like a big thing is I can't figure out when I'm supposed to fight something and when I'm supposed to be nice to something. And like that's really overwhelming to me.
Okay,
Because I just start being nice to everything, and then I'm like, well, why am I even playing this then? Like there's nothing. There's no reward for being nice. Like there's no benefit to it so far, it seems. Whereas like I kill things, I get experience and gold. I be nice to it and I leave, and like that's that. And like I also
it's
think
so
one thing that
this is so funny you telling me that, because
so another
that's
thing
the game.
I think that
And I hate it. Don't get it. Like
I hate it.
Okay.
I also think a big thing that hurts the game for me is, as somebody with no visual memory, all of the puzzles are super frustrating because they're based solely around remembering something else. Like the first puzzle in the game where it's like, remember the layout of this room, and then you go to the next room and you're like, you gotta walk the same path you saw in the last room. Took me 5 tries to get through that fucking room. And then when you get to the one that, and then you get to the next room that goes, you get to the next room that says, remember the leaves. So I fall through the floor and I go, oh, that's what it meant. I see all the leaves on the floor. And I go back upstairs and I get back to the part where I fell through, and I go, I don't remember where the fucking leaves were. So I walk until I fall through again, and I go, okay, let me look at the leaves again. And then I walk back upstairs and I go, still don't fucking remember where the leaves were.
See, this is where we completely diverge. See, this whole time I'm laughing my ass off because I get what they're doing. You're just getting angry because you think it's you think it's the gameplay. They're troll. Like the game is a troll. The game is just constantly trolling. The fact that you don't know who to fight and who to like befriend, and then you realize that fighting them gets you experience and gold, is hilarious. Because I haven't heard that side.
Yeah.
And I really want you to play the game murdering everybody. Because are you honestly, are you going to play it? Because I could just tell you about it.
I mean, even if I know maybe if I know about the game, it will get me to keep playing it.
Okay, if you start killing everybody, the
Mm-hmm.
game shuts down. Like, the game literally, like, when you walk into the town, everyone starts running and screaming, and then throughout the rest of the game, the music disappears, and you just become, like, this horrendous killer that everyone is terrified of. That everyone just is absolutely like, oh my god, death has come, and it is here for us. They're praying to their gods. The whole game completely changes. If you play the game befriending everybody, it's like a 15-hour game. If you murder everybody, the game like speeds up super quick, and it's like over in like 2 hours.
Really?
And it's just brutal.
That's pretty funny.
But the befriending thing starts building up momentum, and that's where you start learning about just the weird world, and they start the puzzles that are awful in the beginning, they start making fun of them. Like, every single puzzle, you're like, oh god, is that what I have to do? And then they're like, no, we're just tricking you. We're just fucking with you now. Just go do whatever the fuck you want.
So it's working perfectly on me, is what you're saying. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do.
And I've actually seen other streamers start playing this game and quit, like, right around where you're playing. Because they're just like, I just don't fucking get it. Because it's just like, you're not getting the punchline yet. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I shouldn't push it anymore. But
yeah, it's just like I said, it's so frustrating to me because like while I don't want a game that completely holds your hand through everything, it's also frustrating when a game goes, hey, like, it's literally like, hey, you're awake.
Yeah.
That's it. That's everything. That's all you get. And then you got to figure the rest out on your own. Like, the fight mechanic is pretty interesting. I figured that out pretty quick.
Oh, does that... You haven't even
but
seen
like,
it. You haven't even seen it. I don't... It's such a... I will say that first hour is probably, like, the hardest part of that game.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I've put probably about an hour. I think I got to the town, and then I was like, I'm done. Like, I finally got through all of those stupid puzzles and stuff, and I was like, all right, I've had my fill.
Yeah, the town's
but
where
like,
it turns.
Okay. I'll hop back into it then. It's just so hard. Like, games that, like, are like, I don't mind games where there are puzzles to solve, but, so Ocarina of Time really frustrated me because, so growing up, I had to play, like, video games with pretty low volume, and then when I got Ocarina of Time on DS, I only played my DS in shared spaces, so I'm not going to be one of those people with my game volume on, but then there are so many puzzles in the game that are, like, sound-based, and I was just like, yeah, this is fucking lame. I hate this. And the same thing happens with puzzles that have, like, or games that have, like, a memory-based puzzle that aren't, like, that I can't, like, so, like, if the puzzle is, like, hitting switches or something, that's okay because I can figure out mathematic ways to, like, solve that puzzle. But when it's, like...
You have to picture what's going to happen in your mind.
When it's literally like, okay, I fell through the floor and I understand that, like, based upon what I read on the wall, is wherever the leaves are down here is where the floor will give out above.
But you can't remember that visually.
I have no visual memory, so I can remember like the first walkway.
If you could,
and then, like, after that, it's just a guess.
You would have to basically count the steps, and then you would remember it.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yes, and it's just like I don't care enough to, like, sit there and, like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now left. 1, 2.
Chris,
like,
I
no.
don't know if this game's gonna be for you.
Yeah, not every game is,
Yeah,
but I'm happy I tried it. I'm happy I gave it, like, a shot.
Yeah.
I didn't just sit here and say I hated the game without ever actually playing it. I gave it a try, and I still hate it. But I hate it for what it is, not for what other people made it seem.
You know what? I'm proud of you. I am proud of you for that.
It's about growth.
Oh, man. What a day.
What a day
I'm
indeed.
I'm sitting upright.
That's wild. I forgot today was Monday like 7 times.
Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. The world's on fire.
Matthew McConaughey was right. Time is a flat circle.
Just like the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, the Earth is more of a disc than it is a circle.
It's like a bowl.
So, yeah, it's upside down frisbee.
Like a saucer.
Oh, man. Do you have any thumbs up and ups this week, Ty?
Shit, I did. What? Fuck, I did have one.
If you need some time to think, I can do mine.
Do yours, Chris.
Okay. Mine is going to be a little self-aggrandizing, folks, but fucking deal with it.
Wow.
So talking about Resident Evil made me a little bit reminiscent of my friend Lennon and I used to have a YouTube channel called You've Seriously Never Played This, where we would play games. We would take turns playing games that each other has never played. So, like, he played through games he never played. I played through games I never played. And we did a series where, because I'm a scaredy cat, I played through Resident Evil 7 at his house.
Ooh.
On our YouTube channel. So
was it the VR?
There's no camera. It wasn't the VR.
I gotta play the VR. I have it. I never played it yet.
I hear it's pretty intense.
I know. I want to play it. Oh, I should play it.
It's, kind of Game Grumps style. There's no camera of us. It's just the gameplay and us talking over top of it.
See, I'm fine with that.
But
I would do that.
I beat the whole game on stream.
Nice.
And you can see how like truly afraid I was often throughout the series. But it's one of my favorite ones we did. And to set up some context for how like really truly scary this was for me. Lennon lived in Shippensburg at the time, and he lived literally in a cabin in the middle of the woods.
No.
And we recorded at the release of the game, and I would drive to his house to record because he did all the editing. I thought it was fair. If he put the videos together, I was going to do the driving to him. I'm a fair guy.
Fair. Fair's fair.
But the game released in like either fall or winter. So I would work, and then I would drive to Lennon's house after work, so I wouldn't get there until like 5 o'clock at night. And I would play. We would turn all the lights out, and it would get dark pretty early. And we would play Resident Evil in the dark in his cabin, and then I would have to like leave his house and walk to my car, and then drive home. And I'm not lying to you when I say I genuinely, like, my heart raced. Like, when I would leave his house in the short walk to my car, and then, like, I wouldn't even, like, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, get in my car, and then I put the key in, I turn it on, and then I fire up, like, a podcast before I go. I was so scared during this gameplay that I literally would get in the car and start driving immediately and not start a podcast until I was like
on the highway with other cars
on the road.
I want to see another human being right now.
It honestly, like, I'm not kidding when I say the game truly scared me. I love that feeling of fear, like from video games and movies. Not a fan of haunted houses. But video games and movies for sure. I love getting that like level of fear, and Resident Evil gave it to me. It delivered. So my thumbs up and up this week is you've seriously never played this, Resident Evil 7.
Wow. Yeah.
Check it out and find out what a coward I really am.
Where was this cabin at?
So he literally lived in, it wasn't technically,
was it like the Poconos?
It wasn't technically Shippensburg, but it was
okay.
But it was like, I mean, in the middle of nowhere. You couldn't see his cabin from the road. Like, the first time I went, I pulled into the wrong driveway twice because I couldn't see his house. So I assumed the two houses surrounding his, one of those two must have been his. And then he was like, oh no, I'll come out and stand at the bottom of the driveway. It's hard to see my house. And then I like got back on the road and drove. I was like, oh, there he is. And terrifying.
Ugh.
Terrifying.
I had a friend that had a cabin. His dad was like the district attorney or something for like the Poconos County, and he died on hunting coyotes. He had a heart attack.
Wow, what a way to
hunting coyotes. And this was like in college. He was my college roommate. So my college roommate, like, all of a sudden his dad was dead, and Jesus, he was a decently, like, wealthy person, like, a judge, not like a millionaire, but but the one thing he inherited, like, at like 20 was a cabin in the Poconos. Dude, he just lived there. Like, awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Why not?
Like, what else are you going to do with it?
So I went and visited him once, up at the cabin. He has 2 ferrets, because that's what any single guy in his 20s who owns a cabin in the woods would have.
Yeah.
His 2 ferrets.
Wow. What a weird pet.
I know, right? I always wanted a ferret, but still, yeah, weird pet. So I remember leaving his cabin, and in the Poconos, they have those weird, I don't know why they do it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but one lane of traffic has its own bridge The other lane of traffic has another bridge that's nowhere near it. Like,
right.
And it was so foggy up in the Poconos that it looked like I was driving down this bridge, and it looked like the world didn't load. It was just everything was gray. I couldn't see 5 feet. I could see like the end of my car. I could see behind me. There was no one here, and I couldn't see like the other bridge of the other traffic because it was just too far. It was only probably like 15 feet, but after 5 feet, you couldn't see anything. And I just remember driving there. I was like, this is some Silent Hill shit right here. It's like, I'm going to die. It's like Pyramid Head's going to come out of here and just chop my car in half. So I can imagine driving home from a cabin after Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. And I mean, it was fall and winter, so there were times where it was foggy. There were times where it was like icy and snowy, and I was just like, and like driving, it's a 2.5 hour drive home, and like leaving his place at like 9:30 p.m. and just like and from, I mean, pretty much from Shippensburg to Harrisburg, it's pretty desolate. Like, you're not passing a lot of businesses. You're not passing a lot of urban areas. Like, nothing.
No,
so
not there.
Literally an hour and a half, you're just like...
It's like, I wish I would see another car.
Yep, not pulling over, not getting gas. Honestly, maybe I don't want to see another car, because what if they run me off the road? Like, it's just the thoughts that go through your head.
Yeah, there could be like some Mad Max, like, witness me!
Yeah, but it definitely, like, it fucked with my head. It was really good.
I really like
I'm
Resident
happy
Evil
I
7.
played it. I thought it was amazing.
It's such a good game. That was my goatee of...
I was going to say, it might be, like, maybe game of the decade for me, even. Like,
I'll tell you what, I don't know if I can go that quickly, but I would definitely say it's a contender. That one has
it's
stuck
definitely
with
top
me.
5.
That one has stuck with me.
Oh my god, that's an episode we should do.
Oh, like top
At
like decade, like
yeah,
2010 to 2020. We could do that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be really fun.
Should we?
We'll save that for one of the weeks where we don't have a topic.
You know what we should do? You know what's a fun game that I another podcast that I listen to does, and I think it would be fun to do for us. We should do a Kill Your Babies episode.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
I'm assuming it's like an elimination style draft where we bring like a handful of games to the table and we eliminate them one at a time and leave one standing.
Pretty much, yeah. And we pretty much have to just erase it from existence. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. So, that'd be a fun episode. But yeah,
that would
be. I gotta be honest with you. I have been trying to think of a thumbs up and up post video, something, anything. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just be a friendly guy today.
Okay.
I got my two friends that run the Sawtown Tavern in Northeast Philly. They, in this time of Corona, started a YouTube video where they make vegan dishes.
Oh, cool.
It's called Hunkered Vegans because they're hunkered in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give them a thumbs up and up.
Nice.
I think the last one
That's a good thumbs up and up.
Yeah. I think the last one they did was like stuffed peppers, I believe. Like a stuffed pepper recipe, but they did a lot of soups. I think chili and stuff like that. So they only have like 6 episodes. They're just doing it for fun while they're stuck inside. No one can go to their bar. It's a shame. They just opened a kitchen up. And like they were gonna start this like vegan cooking, bar food kind of thing, and then this happened. So they have this brand new kitchen and no one to cook for. So
that sucks.
So I'll throw them some love. So Troy and Charles over at the Sawtown Tavern. Check them out.
You get this week's
Thumbs
up
and
up and up.
Hunkered Vegans.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, why not? Stuffed peppers. There it is. Stuffed peppers is the latest episode. Love me some stuff. I'm like vegan things. Not my like. I look at vegan food as basically kind of like the same as just like another culture's delicacy. Like it's not, not for me, but I'll gladly have some.
Yeah, I couldn't go full vegan, but I don't mind it. I'd like to start doing like 2 meatless days a week.
Yeah.
But
I've had lots of their stuff. They have they make this pretty good like pulled pork sandwich from a jackfruit.
Yeah, that stuff is great.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just not, I mean, especially, you and me, we both grew up in the country. We're,
Yeah.
We've seen our meat. We've seen the animal that the meats come from.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah. And I mean, I definitely would like
we've named it.
I'd like to hit a point where I can do less meat. But it's difficult cuz like I mean, it's just Kara and I in the house, and
well, Kara only eats chicken nuggets and Wendy's.
That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to get her to eat anything.
You do realize she's an adult woman person, like,
and she doesn't eat like beans or
know.
anything. Like I tried to sell them to her too. I'm like, listen, you got to try beans. It's like a mashed potato pill. It's like if you took
mashed potato pill.
That's exactly what beans taste like texturally.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And if they're cooked well, they have good taste too. But like she's not into it. But like, she's an adult. But
I don't know why she can't.
I do all the cooking.
She
hates flavor. Ty.
She breaks down. Like she's like Fletcher. Well, I'm like, you need to eat your green beans.
She doesn't do that anymore.
No!
Thankfully, she's over that now. But it's just like straight up like I can get her to try stuff, but it's literally like
nope.
She'll start making like a stink face before she tries it, and then she takes my.
You know what?
She's like,
Have her
I don't
make
like
a
it.
Stink face.
I don't like it. I'm just like, okay.
Oh my god.
And then she gets mad at me that we like just eat the same stuff over and over again. But I'm like, you like 5 things. There are 5 things you eat.
No. Oh, she's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It runs in the family.
Hey, listen. I'm not that difficult.
Oh, I heard about Trolls World Tour.
Dude, wait, what? Trolls World Tour is garbage.
Was it garbage, Ty, or was it the experience?
No, it's a garbage movie. It's a garbage movie. You want to talk about Trolls World Tour right now? Fine. I will bury that movie. That movie.
I want to watch it just because 3 podcasters that I listen to are like bit roles in it.
Like raving about it?
No. The McElroy brothers, Travis McElroy, Justin McElroy, and Griffin McElroy, they do My Brother and Me and the Adventure Zone podcast.
What?
They're podcasters that I listen to both of their shows weekly, or every release, because Adventure Zone releases every 2 weeks.
Are they in this movie?
So the story behind it is a couple years ago, they started a podcast called The McElroy Brothers Will Be in Trolls 3 or Trolls 2 or whatever this one is. And the podcast was just like, it started out as a joke of them being like, we're going to do this fake NPR style documentary about our experience in Trolls until they put us in the movie. And it eventually worked, and they got cast as the beat drop button country tier and rock tier or something like that. Like, and then they also were like the 3-headed troll or whatever.
I don't know.
Like,
I think I might have stopped watching it after that.
Yeah.
I didn't. Fletcher has watched it 3 times. I have not finished it 3 times. It's a terrible garbage movie. That, like, there was... Okay, first off, it was so... There was so many plot twists and, like, bomb drops and twists and turns that nothing had absolutely any value. It was just like, oh no, this guy's a traitor. Oh no, we're traitors. Oh no, that guy betrayed us. Oh no, that guy's a girl. Oh no, that guy's 2 people. Oh no, that 2-person thing is a 1-person thing. Oh no, we're the bad guys. Oh no, they're the good guys. There was like 17 plot changes. There was no point to it. The only good things was Ozzy was in it, acting like just like
cool.
like pre stem cell research Ozzy, not post. Where he's fine because stem cells cure everything. But they're dead babies, so we can't use them or some nonsense. So he went to Amsterdam or something, and now he's like has an album out or something. But anywho, he was funny. The whole premise is there's only six musical genres, and rock has decided to just take over all of them. And the first scene is they show up to techno, and they just annihilate techno, and that's it. You know, it's like, hi, we're here, we're rock. Rock beats techno. Techno is dead. And then they do that for the whole rest of the movie. And the whole time I'm just like, man, there was such a missed opportunity. You could have had these cool, like, rock versus techno mashup. Like, it was a competition, and then they lost. Everybody's just, hey, we're rock. We're better because we're rock, and for some reason, and whippity shwippity blue, and then, you know, oh no, all your amps are exploded, and now we own techno. And they did it to country and classical and funk and pop, I think, are the genres. And then there's subgenres. I don't know.
Pretty limited.
The movie was so all over the place. It was like a mashup with a mashup on top of a mashup, but never.
How much? But did you buy it?
Yes, because it's in theaters. It didn't. It was supposed to come out in theaters, and then it didn't because of Corona.
Okay.
So here, I'm gonna pull one of your dad. I'm gonna pull a dad for you. So my thinking was, there's 3 of us, and a normal movie ticket would cost us about $12, and this only cost us $10 because I work for Comcast, so I get a discount on anything on demand. So I'm like, well, that's like $3, and that's like less than $4 a person. Movie would have cost us like $30 plus popcorn plus soda. We were looking at a $50. I'm ahead like $40 at the end of this. Still wasn't worth it. You could have paid me $40. I want to watch that movie. Also, I think that the first one was better. I think it felt like they phoned this one in. It didn't look like. Also, I'm going to just throw this out there because nobody wants to seem to explain it. All right, have you watched the first one?
No, I haven't watched any.
All right. Well, there's 2, and there's a Netflix series.
Okay.
But the character Justin Timberlake voices, Brant. Is it Branch? Branch. I think his name is Branch. Branch and Poppy are the main characters.
Sounds right.
His grandmother dies in front of him because he was singing too loud. Yeah. He was singing. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, there might be some extra parts to that story, but fuck it. Essentially, he sings, and then his grandmother gets eaten out. And He then loses his color, and he, for the rest of the movie, is this gray troll with black hair. And then at the end of the first movie, he finds himself, and he realizes that singing wasn't what killed his grandmother. The troll that ate his grandmother is what killed his grandmother. So he found love again, and his color came, and his color came back, and he's blue with like dark purple hair. So he went from gray with black hair to like dark blue with purple hair. Okay? Because he found love. The second movie, he's gray with black hair. The whole movie. No explanation why he reverted back. Except there's one scene where he sings this country music like mashup. Well, no, he doesn't. He's singing to the country music trolls. I hate my life so much. He's back to the dark blue with the purple hair. So, I don't know. It just seems misdirected. It seems like it was like 7 studios and they all got like, here's your part, here's your part, here's your part, and then we'll fix it in post. Mm-hmm. It was really bad. Christy didn't like it.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Scathing review for Trolls World Tour.
Yeah, my thumbs down is for Trolls 2. World Snore, am I right? High five.
Boo.
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 Boo you. Boo.
Oh, man. Now we have a second contender for this episode title. I wrote down earlier, The World Didn't Load, but now it might be Trolls World Snore.
Yeah, I think that's the best one.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Trolls 2 World Snore. Am I right? High five. I think all of that. Oh, man.
Do you have any plugs for the people, Ty?
Plugs for the people.
Because we are coming up on 2 motherfucking hours.
Wow.
It's a long
Well,
one.
see, I'm upright. I'm in it now. Like, I'm not... Well, last week I was dying because I was going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
Hey, I've sat in this chair for 2 hours. It has hurt. I have done a lot of squirming and a lot of readjusting, but hey, I'm upright. I'm not laying on the goddamn floor. So, plugs. Fuck, man, I don't know. Me. Why not? Ty Dirk. I don't think I have a website or anything anymore. I don't think I paid for it.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Yeah. Nah. Page not found. 404. Wah, wah. Oopsie. I should probably fix that. All right. Well, I guess I got to take that plug back. Chris. I plugging Chris. Gorky Romano.
Thanks.
Because fuck, why not?
Gorky Romano on everything.
Gorky Romano. UpNup Pod.
UpNup Pod. Across all platforms.
Listen to us. We're amazing.
Yeah.
You should know this by now.
Please.
Because this is the end of the episode.
Please rate, review.
Yeah, why aren't you?
If you're listening, you're subscribed, so thank you for that. But we have
Tell a friend.
handful of ratings. Telling a friend would be awesome. Word of mouth is a great way to spread the word about us.
We're so good. We're so funny and cute and sexy. And Chris will do things to you for $10.
I will. I'll do it for free.
Yeah, Chris will do it for free. That's an up and up guarantee.
But we have a handful of ratings without any comments on iTunes, and that's awesome. Stars are great to get, but what boosts more than anything else is actually leaving a review.
Yep.
So, do the 5 stars or whatever you think we deserve.
Ask Chris for
and
something.
Then leave a comment as to why.
Chris will do things for 5 stars. He'll do butt stuff.
Give or receive.
Or just stay neutral.
I'm like an open-ended question, baby.
You're like a Spanish question. There's like a upside down question mark, and then it's just like, what's happening in this sentence?
But yeah, and let us know what your thoughts are on Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, and Undertale.
Yell at me and tell me how wrong I am about Undertale.
No, it's fine. It's fine, Chris. Like, it's sometimes. I mean, you're a comedian. Sometimes you just don't get the joke.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! I think I lost Chris at the end of the podcast. Shit. We did. All right, folks. Well, he's back.
I'm back. I don't know what the fuck
I
happened.
ended the podcast is what I did.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I did it, but it just goes... Ba-doom.
All right.
So, what were you saying? I'm a what?
Chins up.